People who aren't even involved in the charity anymore. I'm sure they are. They're wonderful people, and during these videos, there'll be a couple of Hello, everyone. It looks like we're live, and I believe that we are. Those of you in the chat room, if you can hear me, let me know. It looks like the broadcast is actually working, which is a miracle within itself. I think we've succeeded for the day. Good night, everybody. Drive safely. You know what? We should probably do a little bit more than just this. We have a goal for the day, but first let me tell you why we're doing said goal. Let me introduce myself. I am Kevin Williams. I am here today to ask you to give money, not to me. I mean, if you want to, I'll take, like a hamburger, right? Like a cheeseburger with avocado right now would really hit the spot. I'd say mushrooms, but that would be pushing it. I am right now asking you to give some money to the good people of Kenya, specifically to Books and Bricks Global. That's a charity that my mother was involved in, and very dear to her heart. The charity takes place in Kenya. Right now, we've got things happening in the background there. You can see we have this is a live view of the church where people are gathered to have dinner and help raise money. That's a church in West Seattle. And then we have our good friend Mary here. She's just checking in. Mary, can you hear me at all? I don't have your mic on, but Mary's trying to get some audio, it looks like that. Mary will be giving us updates on our fundraising. We have a new goal for this year, and that goal is $35,000. And I'm hoping that at some point Mary will be able to hear me, and Mary will be able to tell us, you guys, about how close we are to that goal, and that will encourage you to give some money. I do know that before the broadcast even began, we did have some money in the coffers towards our goal of $35,000. So I'm going to put that up in a second here. Let me do just a couple of things. What do I have to do here? And I'm going to be flying by the seat of my pants, to be quite honest with you today. Since last year, the software has completely changed. So everything that I had set up so that I can just press a button and we're good from last year, it's not going to work this year. So there we go. Let me do this. Right off the bat, I want to show you our fundraising bar. Our goal is $35,000. Let's see what we've raised even before the broadcast began. Drum roll, and we are 23% of the way towards our goal of $35,000. We have seriously pared down our expectations this year over last year because of, well, frankly, COVID. So COVID has changed the landscape of the world. The other thing is we've noticed that charities are raising less this year, and one of the big reasons is, of course, inflation, which is a worldwide problem and is also making it very difficult for us to do what we want to do in Kenya. On top of that, let me first, just for those of you just joining us for the first time, I'll tell you a little bit about what we do. And Mary, if you're listening, Mary helps keep track of all the money coming in. Mary, if you can hear me, I can see you, and I'll go to you in just a second. Okay, she's nodding her head, so we're good there. Our goal is $35,000, and with that $35,000, I'll tell you a little bit about what we do with that money as soon as I can get to that on my other screen. No, it's not going to help me there. Give me just a second. We are a charitable organization. I should say I'm taking credit for it, but it's not really me. I'm just doing this little broadcast here. But booksandbricks.org is a global charity organization that specifically sends kids to school in Kenya, Africa. And when you have an education, you can change the world. And Books and Bricks is already doing that. One of the things they focus on is getting kids through high school and then getting those kids through college, turning them into teachers or aeronautic engineers or civil engineers or whatever, so that they can go on and teach others and make a difference in tons of lives. I do have a list of impacts that have been made this year. I had it somewhere, and I'm going to find it again. Give me just a second here. And it is completely gone from what I wanted. Hold on. That is from last year. Nobody cares about that. And, okay, it's coming up. It's coming up. Boom, 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 boom. All right. what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull that up, but it's got a list of things that we've accomplished this year, and they're good things. I'll pull that up when I can here. I don't want you guys to have to listen to me try to find it in a pile of paperwork that isn't even paper. It's just on my computer screen here. Let me check in with Mary. Mary, are you ready to kind of give us an update? She is. Okay, good deal here. Let me pull up Mary. Mary, go ahead and unmute yourself, and we'll see if the folks at home can hear what you're saying. Okay, you're unmuted. Say something.
Hi, Kevin. How's it going? You're doing great.
Okay, I see you coming in here. Hold on, but I cannot hear you. Nobody on the broadcast can hear you. What is going on with that? Give me a second here. Okay, Mary, go ahead and talk.
Hi, Kevin. Hi, Books and Bricks Global.
Yeah, you're coming in there. Folks at home, can you hear Mary? Because I cannot hear Mary. Let me just check. Somebody in the chat room here, let me know. Oh, you guys can hear her. So this will be an interesting conference because I can't. Hold on. There's got to be a way to make this work because I know last year we made this work. Let's see. So your desktop audio is coming in here. Let me adjust the properties. Again, since last year, the software has changed so drastically that I am not hearing this. Monitor off. I'm going to make it monitor and output. Mary, say something.
Hi, Kevin.
No, I'm still not getting it. Okay. How can I fix this? I can tune into the broadcast myself, but that's going to be delayed. Boy, oh boy. Well, here's the deal. Here's a great example of why you guys need to donate right now as much as possible, because when you do, the broadcast can end. Once we hit that goal of $35,000, you don't have to listen to this anymore, to this nonsense. Okay, what I'll do is I'm going to throw to Mary. And Mary, you can tell everybody out there how much money we've raised so far. You can certainly say thank you to a bunch of people. You can do all of that you want to do. You're going to have the floor. And then if someone in the chat room, when Mary gives us an actual figure of, let's say, $8,000, $10,000, $100,000, whatever Mary says, throw that up into the chat room for me. While she's doing that, I'm going to try and make it so that I can hear her, and then we'll go from there. And Mary, when you're done, just kind of wave until I notice you. And
Okay.
then I'll get back and I'll play a couple of videos and I'll see if I can work out the technical links. So you folks should be able to. Hold on. Someone just said something and I missed it in the chat room. And I think they may have just suggested what I said. Should we type subtitles for you in the chat? Oh, you know what? Hold on. I can turn on subtitles. Let's see. I've just turned on captions, and hopefully they'll allow me to see what Mary is saying. Mary, go ahead and say something.
Hi, Books and Bricks Global.
What a brilliant idea. Thanks to @random, who's a huge donator as well. And that, to me, is a donation worth at least $20,000 from @random, because now I'll be able to read your subtitles. It'll be a little bit delayed, but we can have an actual conversation. Hello, Mary. How
Hello.
are you? And who's that with you?
This is baby Alden, and he's almost 3 months old on the 4th.
Congratulations. That's fantastic.
Thank
And
you.
welcome, baby Alden.
Thank you.
Mary, tell us about where we are in the fundraising so far. You've probably got some people to thank. I'm going to give you the floor. Again, I can't hear you, but I can read what you say, and I understand the people at home can hear you. So we're not that halfway there then. Oh yeah, no, if @random would contribute $25,000 in real money, then we would almost be done. Mary, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you @random. That was a great suggestion. I do want to say we are doing really well. The figure I have is $16,500. So that's a really great number.
$16,500. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really great. Coming into this with that big number is really wonderful, and that is thanks to about almost 65 different donors, and we are really appreciative to all of them. And I especially wanted to mention that Epiphany Parish in Seattle made a large donation for the scholarship fund, and we are really thankful for that. They apparently do a lot of other charitable work, of course. It sounds like in Haiti, especially, and we're thankful for that college scholarship donation that they made to Books and Bricks Global. It's a great program. As a lot of people already know, probably listening, we get so many wonderful donations for high school and college scholarships, and the dollar just goes so far for these kids, and they study so hard. And I know I get a lot of letters from them thanking us for our work and our donations. So let's keep it going. Let's get more donations. Let's put them towards those scholarships and the school buildings and the library buildings. I don't know, Kevin, if you've already talked about what our funding, how far it goes in terms of the dollar just reaches so far.
I haven't. I'm trying to pull that up now because I do have a list of all the dollars and where it goes. But so far, technically, the fact that we're even broadcasting, I see that as a success.
Yeah,
but
yeah. It's going great. You're doing great.
It is so weird reading your subtitles and trying to react to that. So, but the home audience can hear you, and that's the important part. If you want to go over some figures, if you have some of what things cost, otherwise I do have them. And what I was going to do is just play a welcome from the chairman. And while I'm playing that video, I can dig up those numbers because I had them up on my screen and they're just not cooperating with us now. So you gave me the figure. Give me the figure again. I'm going to go old fashioned here. There, I got a pen. What was that figure of what we've raised so far?
16,500.
16,500. Okay. I can update the magic fundraiser bar with that. We're going to tell you all about what Books and Bricks does. Mary mentioned a little bit about... Thank you, Mary, by the way. You can go back and mute yourself or do whatever you want to do. Hi, baby. 16,500 is what we're at right now. At Random says almost halfway. I'm not good with math, so I'm just going to trust her on that one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you some videos today as well. One of them is a welcome from our chairperson. Some of these videos are from a couple of years ago when COVID was still hyperactive in the community and we weren't doing the dinner that you can see there on the little left side of your main screen. We weren't doing that. We were doing everything entirely by computer. So right now I'll play you that. If there are anachronisms in it, it's because the video itself is a couple of years old. Let me pull up. I believe I can do it this way. Again, the software's completely changed since we did this last. I have it here. And here we go. Here is the welcome from the chairman. I'm going to try and dig up some figures of what we do as a charity. I keep saying we, like I'm somehow involved. It's people like Mary and Janet and my father, Cliff Williams, and so many others that do all the work. I'm just here. I'm just a talking head who apparently can't even hear volume. That's how good I am at my job. Here's a welcome from the chairman. We'll be back. Right now is a welcome from the chairman. In 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to all, no matter where you are in the great, wide, and wonderful world in which we live today, complete with all its changes and challenges. I'm J.D. Godwin, Chair of the Board of Books and Bricks Global. Some may want to say that this is our first annual virtual meeting. To that I would say, please God, let it not be so. While I'm thankful for each of you who has joined us this evening, I am profoundly aware that virtual gathering is no real substitute for the real thing, for human interaction, the human touch, for which so many of us long these days. So I trust that by this time next year, we will be able to see each other in the flesh and enjoy table fellowship one with another. Schools in Kenya, like so many around the globe, have opened online, and that fact brings us new and exciting opportunities to make enduring differences in the lives of so many young people in the remote areas in and around Kitui County, Kenya. We know that there are many, many peoples and places that are in need these days, and which are clamoring for your discretionary dollars. Since coming to St. John the Baptist Episcopal Church, Seattle in 2013, David and I have taken great joy in being active financial supporters of the ministry and work of Books and Bricks Global. We've helped you provide educational supplies and experiences for students of all ages, and we've assisted in funding several libraries. A special joy for us recently has been the opportunity to provide additional financial support for the administration expense of our local office here in Seattle as sustaining members, thus assuring that none of the funds given for the benefit of our supported students, teachers, and schools will need to be diverted to our cost of operation. We have not yet reached our goal of having at least 40 sustaining members, and so I urge your attention to this possibility. A per-person donation of only $25 a month or $300 per year will help keep BBG up and running. With the opening of this school year, your financial support is most urgently needed to help our students learn in a drastically changed environment. We need to secure funding in the amount of $6,000 for computers or laptops for our 20 college-level students. This is new funding in the amount of $300 per computer and is in addition to the monies so many of you already provide for high school and college students' education. We've also launched a new program called Learn Anywhere that enables learning outside the physical classroom via murals and other visual aids designed and painted in public spaces. You'll hear more about this program later. We know that many of you, our faithful donors, may be facing financial stresses during the complications of living in the age of COVID-19. Please know that whatever you can do to help keep the work of Books and Bricks Global healthy and growing is appreciated. If you have the ability to give more, either as a sustaining member or a one-time gift of one or more computers, whatever you can give, we're grateful. There are two promises I can make. The first promise is this: I know of few other places where every single dollar you give can do so very much good. Imagine that only $112 a year provides for a high school student to complete that year. Or for another student, he or she can attend 4 years of college for a total of $6,000. And the second promise is this, and it comes from our hearts, David's and mine. That is the deep and abiding joy in knowing that our giving, sometimes sacrificial giving, really does make a difference. This is a very exciting time for Books and Bricks Global and for our work in Kenya. I'm even more excited than ever for the future of our schools and students. And more than that, I'm excited for the world into which they are moving and of which they will soon be leaders. Thank you, one and all, for your gifts of grace and from gratitude on behalf of our students in Kitui County, Kenya.
And we're back, and I think we have audio. Welcome back to the Books and Bricks fundraiser. That was our chairman, who I believe is still our chairman, as far as I know. No one tells me anything, except that Mary has told us that we've, so far, not including donations that since the broadcast started, have raised $16,500 towards our goal. And if I can make this work properly, we'll have an update above of our new total. Let's see if we can make that work. How about this? And we're at 47%. That's almost half. Why doesn't anybody tell me these things? I want to tell you a little bit about what we do at Books and Bricks Global. And again, if you want to donate, easiest way, booksandbricks.org/donate. Some of the things we've done over the past year, I have a list, and it popped up immediately after I went to that video. What Books and Bricks focuses on, several things, but primarily sustainable scholarships. Our scholarships cover durations of study of usually 4 years. For struggling high school students who can't do it in 4 years, we'll stick with them until they graduate. So 5 years sometimes. If they choose to go beyond that, we have scholarships to cover them all the way through college. Another thing they do is they build school buildings. There's a huge deficit in infrastructure in the rural communities of Kenya, and in the past, libraries have been built. One of our good friends, one of the people who watch my broadcast regularly, as Kevin Lee Father, Phyllis Hatch, donated an entire library. And so now there's a Hatch family library in Kenya. Libraries and classrooms are something that Books and Bricks builds. Last year they built 2 libraries and filled with books for the kids. And some of the pictures you see rotating through, those are pictures of the libraries themselves. And I have more pictures to show you later, and we've got a little dedication to the Hatch Library as well. We'll talk more about that. Educational supports, pens, pencils, teachers, uniforms, shoes. Something as basic as shoes or something that a lot of the children in Kenya don't have. Transportation to school. How do you even get there? Computers, laptops for the kids who get older and go on to college. A laptop costs about $300. Probably more now because inflation just isn't a United States thing, by the way. Inflation is worldwide. And Kenya has been hit by a couple of things. They have been devastated by a drought, the worst drought in 40 years. If only we could take some of the water in South Carolina and Florida right now and transport it over to Kenya, but that's not the way the world works. Things cost money. So there are millions of people in Kenya right now that are food insecure, even more than normal. One of the things the schools provide is nutrition. Just like we here in the United States have nutrition programs in school, they have the same in Kenya. So part of the money that you donate goes towards feeding children. I know that one of the mothers of one of the scholarship children in Kenya, their mother makes a living, squeaks by, or ekes by, forget what the expression is, but it doesn't matter, by selling vegetables. But during a drought, the vegetables won't grow, so you've got nothing to bring to the market to sell. So Books and Bricks tries to help out in that regard. Another thing we do is mentoring programs. So when the situation is hopeless, there's nothing better than somebody who gives you hope, who shows you that this can happen for you as well. And then fundraisings to pay for our programs. That's what we're doing right now. So please give generously. If you have anyone around you who has a couple of extra bucks, shoot them a link. Send them on over to booksandbricks.org/donate. Let me show you a little bit about what happens when you do that, or how you do that, just in case there's folks out there who are unfamiliar with how the computers work. Let me pull this up. This is what it looks like when you go to booksandbricks.org. Actually, this is what it looks like when you go to booksandbricks.org. That's the main page. Up in the corner, how can I show you guys? Yeah, I can show you guys. Give me a second. There. Up in the right-hand corner on your computer screen, and then I think right in the center if you're on your phone. Up in the right-hand corner, let me pull it up. There it is. There's a little red button that says Donate Today. When you click on that, if you have PayPal, use the yellow button. The button right there. Otherwise, hit the Donate Online Now. My particular favorite part of the website, let me pull in a little bit here, is you probably can't read it unless you're on a computer. The Reverend Donna Riley Williams Memorial Scholarship Fund. That was my mom. Mom's passed away now, but this was her favorite charity. She established a scholarship fund. Now it's a memorial fund so that we'll remember her, because otherwise, like, how are we going to remind it of our own mom? But if you want to donate to the Donna Riley Williams Scholarship Fund, you're welcome to. If you want to donate to any of the others' funds, do that as well. They do accept PayPal now, so go to the PayPal link that I showed you right there. I can't adjust that screen anymore, so that's fine. So we're doing the fundraising part of it right now. We're at 47% of our goal. We'd like to get to 35,000. I think we can attain that today. Let's pull this up. Give me a second here, kids. I can get rid of that. There we go. We're going to go to another video. We're going to, if I can find it, We're going to talk about Janet. Janet is from Kenya. She has a story about why she started this entire project. She is the engine that runs that, and she's very heavily involved in the charity. Her husband, Mike, as well, is involved, of course. Mike has COVID. So things have been a little bit different this year in getting ready for the broadcast and having the fundraising dinner as well. So I don't think we're going to hear from Janet today, but she is there and she is working hard. And she would encourage you. She would encourage you to donate, as I will right now. Joanna G is watching the broadcast. She's one of our support staff here in Los Angeles. And she wants to see the 47% go up because of her. Okay, then, hey, if you want to see the broadcast end, because actually I'm right now in a studio at producer Joanna's house. That's why we call her the producer. If you want to see the broadcast end, we have a birthday party to go to of a friend. We're eating outdoors. We're trying to be COVID safe because Joanna just had COVID. She's back there behind this wall. Joanna, if you want to see the broadcast end, the figure to raise is about $17,000. So if you want to just donate $17,000, broadcast is over. We're done. Hit the status button, Jojo. I can't hit the status button because I have to do it's all manual. I'm doing everything here. So hitting that wait a minute. What status button? I don't even know what status button you're referring to. But if you're talking about an update, I'm going to go to Mary in a second. But first, I want to share Janet's story. Again, this is from a couple of years ago. So in terms of if she talks about COVID or whatever, it might not be pertinent. However, I think it really is because right now, Michael, her husband, who does so much for the charity, he's got COVID. So whatever she said, it's going to be timely.
Books and Bricks is an international organization that was actually started in Kenya. And our work is to increase access to education. I used to be a high school teacher, and the first scholarship I gave was for $2 to a girl in my class to continue with her education. And since then, a lot of the people who volunteer for Books and Bricks have always been teachers. Books and Bricks has grown a lot. One of the things we do is we do not create dependency. We provide sustainable scholarships. We give scholarships that are enough to keep a child in school and still give an opportunity for governments and parents to do their part and do their share. We ensure that every student in our scholarship program who qualifies for college is assured of college, so they don't have to worry about passing a national exam and never having a college education. We believe that high school education is not enough, especially for girls. We do believe that a college education gives girls a much better opportunity and a better shot at life. Books and Bricks Global in Kenya is run by teachers who believe in our work. Teachers especially in rural areas, they're very committed, and they themselves have lived through the struggles and challenges of succeeding. They are usually the only people that are hired and employed in the formal sector. I am going to tell you about one of the leading people in Kenya. His name is Elijah, and we met Elijah in 2012 when he was teaching high school. He was actually, with the high school education, he was the principal for this high school in my village. It was, even though the elementary school was started in 1966, we really did not get a high school in my village until 2008. In 2012, Elijah was the principal at that high school with a high school education. Leading this school, we asked him, Elijah, what can you really do? And he said that with more education, I can be a better teacher, I can be a better principal. And we offered Elijah a scholarship. A scholarship was funded by a family right here in Seattle, actually in Snohomish. And he finished college, and he is now the chair for Books and Bricks Global in Kenya. His assistant, when Elijah left to go to college, the next person who took over being a deputy principal for that high school is Julius. And Julius right now is the community outreach officer for Books and Bricks Global. My third grade teacher, Mrs. Mwema, You will probably hear her talking a little bit later. She influenced me a lot when I was young. She told us that as a woman and as a girl, she is educating us to make a change in this community. She is the treasurer for Books and Bricks Global. So when you give your money to Books and Bricks Global, that money is actually going to the children that actually need it, and they can use it, and they really can use it. So please give. We have very committed donors. Every year we have a huge fundraiser at St. John and we in Seattle, and we actually serve African food. We serve kienyeji, which is local food in Kenya. We serve greens, we serve beans, we serve githeri, we've served ugali, we've served goat. And that is the place to be the first Saturday of October. But this year we could not do that because of COVID and because we wanted to be sure that our donors are safe. We were safe. We will be there to take care of the children. So this was an opportunity to have a live stream fundraiser. We have read a lot that donations to nonprofits were going to be going down. But we are hopeful. As soon as it is safe for students to go back to school, we will be there promoting and increasing access to education. There is something really, really interesting that we have done during the time for COVID. We have provided books, we have provided revision materials for 8th graders, we've provided revision materials and books for high school kids. We have put reading materials in shops. So when a parent goes to shop, they can just pick up material to take home to their kids to go and read. So like, for example, in Seattle Times, there was an article on sea turtles in Mombasa, and that is being provided for and for kids to read in the village. It's exciting. Our donors are very important. They make almost an 8-year commitment for each child that, that they fund. And that is where our sustainability for school scholarships comes from. Our donors, when they start funding a library, they fund that library from the foundation all the way to installing books into that library until it is ready for a student to enter. We partner with communities that have never failed to raise their share. Usually the community share is 30%. So if every member of the community contributed, the average contribution for each household is about $1. And all the libraries, all the schools for which we have built libraries, the communities have been able to raise their share, and we've completed those libraries. Thank you very much for your donation. Thank you for increasing access to education for children through Books and Bricks Global.
All right, you're back live. I am Kevin. This is the Books and Bricks fundraiser. Go to booksandbricks.org/donate to help out the good folks who put this all together. One of those good folks is our friend Mary. Mary wanted to tell you guys a little bit about how much your money, what your money goes to purchase and how much those things cost, if I am understanding correctly, Mary. One of the things with the software updates that they've done since last year when I'm doing this is I have no idea how long those videos that we're watching are going to end and when they're going to end. So when suddenly the screen goes black, I'm scrambling. I can't hear Mary. I can only read her subtitles, but hopefully you guys can hear Mary. Let's bring her in here. There she is. I feel like we've succeeded. Leaps and bounds right here. And come on, Mary. Hold on, Mary. I want to bring you more full center here. There we go. And I'm going to make you bigger. Give me a second here. That's not you. Here we go. No, come on. All right. We'll now we're like, things are all over the place here. Is that you, Mary? Nope, that's not you. Those are the pictures. Give me a second, and there it is. Now, come on, computer, be nice. There's Mary, and let's make you a little bit bigger, and maybe people can see that. There we go. Okay, Mary, go ahead and speak, and I'll see if the audio is coming through. Go ahead and give me the number whenever you're ready. That's awesome. I did, and I do have a feature from last year we'll play a little bit later. Actually, we might just play it next. Phil Satch. I just realized something. We're kind of giving everything away when you tell me the figure and we're doing it live. Put the figure in the chat room, and then I can make the little graphic thing go, and then we'll surprise everybody. See? And then, yeah, I think that's the way you're supposed to do it. Rather than, because now I know there's people at home right now going, okay, 16,500 divided by 35,000, and just they're that brilliant that they're doing that in their head. Because right away, at random was like, that's almost half. And I'm not a mather, but 47 sounds like it's almost half. I think she was right. Thank you so much, Mary, for the update. Let me do this, and Mary is doing her thing. Reverend Elise, if you're listening, whenever you're ready, just step in front of the camera and I'll pull you up. So one of the things that was remarkable there, Mary gave us a figure of over $400 for sending a child through high school, which, when you think about it, is incredibly cheap compared to how much we spend on per child here in the United States. I see you, Elise. We'll come to you in a second. When we started the live stream, I remember, this is back in 2020 when COVID wouldn't let us have the dinner, sending a child all the way through high school was $350. Now it's 400 and whatever the figure was that Mary said. In just 2 years, that's how much inflation has affected Kenya, because it's affected the entire planet. I was about to say it's infected the entire planet. It really has. During COVID, we didn't make enough things anymore because people didn't go to the factories and produce things because COVID was very, very bad. This is worldwide. On top of that, they've got a drought in Kenya. On top of that, grain prices around the world have skyrocketed. So it's not just about getting books and bricks to build the libraries. It's about just having food to sustain. Speaking of food and sustaining and fundraising and all of that, we managed to have a dinner last year. This year, we're having another dinner. We just had a silent auction. And Reverend Elise is going to be kind enough here, if I can pull her up, to tell us how that went. Wait, Reverend Elise, we were talking and I could hear you before the broadcast began. Isn't that correct? Yes. Now I can't hear you. They can hear you at home. So that's good. All I can do is read your subtitles. So I think we should have a system like when you're done saying something, you can say over, and then I'll do, but I don't have to say over because you can hear me. So tell me where you are, tell me what's going on, and tell me about the silent auction. What kind of things did you guys have? Oh, wait. Hold on. Don't say anything. They can't hear you either. They can't. Let me see if I can adjust something. Give me a second here because they definitely have to be able to hear you. Wait, could you guys not hear Mary either? You just were reading the subtitles for Mary? Okay, go ahead and speak, Elise.
I'm speaking. Can you hear me?
Okay, give it a second. Chat room, can you hear her? We also couldn't hear Matt. Who's Matt? Okay, you also couldn't hear Mary. Can you hear Elise now? Elise, say stuff.
I'm saying something.
Okay, we're back.
Okay, great.
Okay, good.
Hey, everybody.
Elise,
Kevin, thank you.
please tell us everything that I asked you to tell us before. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, Kevin, we're so glad to be with you here live at St. John the Baptist Episcopal Church in West Seattle, home and birthplace of Books and Bricks. And you can tell we've got a lot of merriment going on behind me. So I want everybody to keep visiting because, you know, the more that people visit, sometimes the more generous they are. And so we've had a wonderful little informal gathering. We had an informal dinner served by folks here from St. John's, as well as a wonderful silent auction that our chair of Books and Bricks, the Reverend J.D. Godwin, has facilitated very well. And a lot of folks got to go home with some really wonderful religious objects, crosses. There were some beautiful bracelets, a wonderful Kenyan bag, actually two of those, and some other really great items. And so now you can tell that folks are really enjoying visiting together. And I'm really glad that after, I guess this was 3 years of not being able to have indoor gatherings, we're doing some small gathering here this year for our Books and Bricks fundraiser, which is a lot of fun. And I just want to simply say that I'm really grateful to Mary and to Kevin and all of us here at St. John's, Janet, Mike, Gary, JD, David, and the whole crew. We're really, really grateful for all folks participating and supporting the mission and ministry of Books and Bricks and helping students in Kenya to be able to flourish. And so I think that's probably what I would want to offer up for now. And I'll say over, unless you have any specific questions, and I can come on later and talk a little bit more. How does that sound?
Wow. I feel like I'm a camera producer here, like in the news business, and they'd be doing this, like stretch it out, stretch it out. That was impressive. I couldn't hear you at all, but the folks out there could. And I mean, you just ran with that. I think you might be in the wrong career, but I don't want to stop you from doing what you're doing. Like you could be one of those faith ministers on Sunday morning and raise all kind of money and have your own private jet. I'm not suggesting you do that, but very well done. So hi to everybody up there in Seattle, having dinner, etc., and having a good time and being indoors, which is nice to be able to do this. Oh, they're waving at us. It's just like a real broadcast. So good to see everybody up there. Thank you for contributing. You can go ahead and mute yourself, Elise. You're already muted in my ears, but for the folks out there, thank you so much for doing that, Elise. We might check in with you later on that. I don't know. Joanna G in the chat room just said an update button I meant, but yeah, I'm just the support staff, like when he needs pizza. Yeah, when I need pizza. Where's the pizza, by the way? Yeah, I want some goat dinner as well. Maybe later, instead of going out to Miguel's birthday party, Joanna, we can just go get some goat somewhere. I think that would be actually a really good idea. So what I want to show you now is something that was put together last year, and I believe this is a video that we have. Again, if the software is going to cooperate with us. This video shows us... Oh, you guys could just... I want to check with the chat room. You guys are able to hear the videos, right? I want the 47% to move as well. And I'll update that while we're watching this video. Hopefully I have enough time. Phyllis Hatch, member of the Hatch family, is one of our regulars here who has contributed a tremendous amount to all of our lives. And Cliff Williams says, yes, we can hear the video, so that's good. The Hatch family was generous enough to donate, I believe it was $10,000, and built an entire library. So here's a little piece that we put together on the Hatch family library. And I can't remember if it's video or pictures, but I'll be monitoring it as well as I update the latest figures. I have a new total, so you guys don't even know what the total is. Ha ha ha. We didn't spoil this time. Mary just sent me something in the chat that tells me. So I'll update that. So stay tuned for that. And if you want that total, if you want to mess me up, change that total right now. Donate at booksandbricks.org/donate. And I'm going to have to do even more work because it's not like I'm doing enough here. Here's a little something on the Hatch family library, I hope.
Martin, da wundi. You know, I'm not going there. Moga mina so ganone.
Okay, and am I coming through this time? I'm having to, really? Am I not here? Yeah, no, I'm there. Okay, good. Every time I switch to a different format, I go away, or something doesn't work volume-wise. So I know for the first half of that video, you guys couldn't hear anything. So I apologize for that. But, oh well. That's how they make the libraries. Oh, is Phyllis here? Hi, Phyllis. So that was the Hatch family library being built right there. Let me go back to the chat room here so I can see you guys better. Okay, so Phyllis, thank you so much for your generosity. There's more pictures there of libraries. That's what we're looking right now in the slideshow that's being shown right now. This is bugging the heck out of me, so let me fix this. Nope, that's not what I'm trying to do. And how about there we go. Okay, so normally, if you've watched the broadcast before, I like to have a bunch of other things happening as well at the same time, so I can thank the people that have donated. This year, we're sort of flying by the seat of our pants, and I don't know if we're going to be thanking people personally, but I do have a new update on the total that we've received. We're not there yet, and I'll show that to you in a second, but it is higher than 47%, because that is how math works. Yeah, there's a water tank there too at the library. They make that brick out of the dirt. Right there. They make it out of the dirt. They mix it into mud. The sun dries it, and then they put all that together. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I couldn't hear it, but I'm fascinated by how things are built. And I was lucky enough to have a father who's a civil engineer, and he's very involved in the charity as well. And we'll take a look at something from him. In fact, we'll do that right now. And when we come back, I'll show you the updated total. Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you the video after I give you the updated total. And hopefully, Mary will give me a new figure. I'm going to show you a couple of videos. Mary will give me a new figure. I'll be able to update it again, and we'll get an even higher total when we get back. So somebody at home, because I don't have the little button to do it here, do your own drum roll. And I will upload the new percentage for us. Here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. The goal is 35,000 to change lives of children in Kenya. We are this far from that goal. Oh, wait. Sorry, that's not true. We are this much along towards achieving our goal. And it is 66%. Good work, everybody. I want to get that higher. I think we can hit the goal this year. Last year, we set lofty goals. We didn't quite get there, but we were still able to, for example, we graduated 3 teachers this last year. There are 11 teachers in training right now through this program. Those teachers, when they graduate, will go to the rural areas of Kenya and teach children who don't have the infrastructure that they have in the bigger cities. So that is tremendous. But we are serving people who have no other means of changing their lives for the better. And again, because of inflation and all that other stuff, we need more money this year. So please be more generous. We've lowered the expectations. We really have. But we do everything we can to make those dollars go farther. And then the people here volunteering, in Kenya volunteering, are all doing an amazing job. One of those people, without sounding too biased, happens to be the civil engineer I mentioned earlier. This is, I think, a greeting from my father, talking about being a board member at Books and Bricks.
Hello, everybody. My name is Cliff Williams. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees of Books and Bricks Global. I first met Janet and Mike at St. John's Episcopal Church back in about 2012, and at that time became familiar with Books and Bricks Global and started to contribute funds to their program. The initial interest that I had was the fact that we as a family had worked and lived in 2 African countries. It was primarily on water supply projects in rural areas. With that particular work, I got to know some teachers and in particular high school students in the rural areas, as it was the high school and the students that really started the rural water supply programs going, as they would dig the trenches for the water supply lines. I would meet a number of them out in the field and find them to be very enthusiastic about what they were doing and about learning, and also enthusiastic about the growth of their community. I also was able to help 8 students from Swaziland, which is the first country we were in, get into universities in engineering in North America. It really was very touching to see the commitment that these students had. And I believe that the work we are doing by sponsoring, providing scholarships to schools and supporting the teachers will be very, very beneficial to the people, especially in the rural area in Kenya. Thank you all for your great generosity, and thank you for watching.
I have some amazing news. It turns out I can pretty much lip read my dad. I could not hear him, but I could read his lips when he was saying thank you and stuff like that. I didn't even realize that we had that ability. So very cool. I think he mentioned Swaziland during the video. Again, I couldn't hear him. Swaziland is now called Eswatini, former British colony. And they love the Queen there. That was kind of, actually, I don't know exactly what he talked about, but he is on the board, and he's not there at the church this year. He's at home with my stepmother, Kay, and they both do a tremendous amount to help with Books and Bricks. So thank you to both of them. I'm supposed to toot my family's horn or something here. Let's see. So I've got a list of thank yous to give out, and I'm going to give the thank yous, and then I'm going to update the total, because I do have a new total. During the video, Mary updated me. Even more money has come in, so it'll be higher than 66%. You guys want to wager on how much it'll be, and then we'll contribute those wagers to the... Okay, so thank you notes. Thanks to Kevin Williams for blah, blah, blah. All the donors for supporting this mission's work. JD for being chair the last 3 years and all through COVID. So thank you, JD, for that. Reverend Canon Elise at St. John. We've been talking to Elise. Thank you for the updates. Our intrepid reporter, Elise, stretching things out. Doing fantastic. That's not easy to do. Books and Bricks started as a church ministry at St. John. I think Elise mentioned that, at least from what I could tell. Michael, who's home watching and resting. Michael just getting over COVID. Michael, by the way, I understand Michael is doing better. And he was like most of us, hopefully, we've been vaccinated and boosted, etc. So Michael, I believe, is going to be fine. Michael has gone on 5 mission trips to Kenya, Zimbabwe, and Zambia, and continues to support education for children in Africa. Cliff and Kay Williams, coincidentally, oh wait, no, that's probably actually my parents, and the entire Williams family for their continued support of the mission work in Africa, for living in Malawi and Lesotho. I didn't even realize we lived in Lesotho. We lived in Malawi, but you know what? It was probably one of those conversations where someone said, you know where's beautiful is Lesotho, and my dad was like, oh yeah, I know about Lesotho. I lived in Lesotho. We never did. We lived in Eswatini, or Swaziland, as my dad mentioned. But it says Lesotho, so it must be true. Says Kevin, fill in the blanks here. I just did. I think this thank you note is from Mary, I'm guessing. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, not from Mary. This thank you note's from Janet. Mary, because she's thanking Mary. Mary, thank you very much in Oregon. Thank you for keeping Kevin updated on donations. How did she know you were going to do that? This was written before the broadcast. All of the volunteers who made delicious delight for the social watch party there at the church. Donations for the raffles during the social watch party. Reverend Elise mentioned some of those. All the board members for serving during the pandemic. Kevin's support crew in Los Angeles. That would be producer Jojo. And I'm going to throw in Lindsay as well. So Lindsay Gardner is always a great support. And I'm assuming he's donated as well. More than just his presence and time, which really can't be matched in a dollarly amount. Janet is amazing. We talked about Janet's story a little bit here. We also have a treasurer, and I believe I've got some video of the treasurer. So what I'm going to do is I I've something about my own mother. We mentioned Donna Williams, the Reverend Donna Riley Williams here. She was part of the Williams family, basically made the Williams family. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the updated total, and then I'm going to go to a video or a couple of videos, and hopefully you guys will donate during those videos, and we'll be able to update the video on the other side. So let's do this. Let's at home do your own drum rolls, and I will. Where is it? There it is. Get you guys the updated total. So we were at 66% during the last video, and my nonsense, we are now at, wait for it, and go. 77% of the way there. And that is $20-something thousand. I don't have the figure in front of me. So fantastic, guys. We're almost at $30,000. Let's keep it up. A little here, a little there. Every drop in the bucket goes to eventually making a full bucket. And you use that bucket to help fill up the water that they need to make the bricks. Remember, Kenya's in a 40-year drought. So that water tank that is at the Hatch Library, those water tanks that are at all the libraries that Books and Bricks is putting in over in Kenya, those are absolutely crucial. Because otherwise that rainwater is gone. And they need it desperately in Kenya. Cujo, good to see you. 77%, let's see if we can drive that just a little bit more. We do accept Canadian funds as well. So Dennis Williams, a cousin of mine, he donated. He's up in Edmonton. He donated Canadian dollars today, and we do the conversion. We are international. So thank you very much, Dennis, if you happen to be watching. Another point of personal privilege, if I may. Some of you know a gentleman known as Cousin Larry in the chat who has donated to Books and Bricks in the past. Cousin Larry passed away unexpectedly a couple of weeks ago, and I'm sure he is here in spirit watching over this. And if Cousin Larry, if heaven has some kind of currency, if you wouldn't mind donating, we'll do the conversion here ourselves. The church is all about conversions, and we'll make that work as well. But I just wanted to mention Cousin Larry. We miss him. We miss his generosity of both currency and of spirit. So I want to show you a little bit about our treasurer. I believe this is some video of that. Everything this is a surprise this year for me. That's the fun part. Here's a little treasury video, which you can treasure and hold on to. And I might play another video right after that. I think I have something to do with my mom. And then I've got some kids in school. I believe they might be pictures. It might be a video. We'll find out together. And when we come back, we might even have an updated total to the 77%. So while we're doing this, give generously, and we'll be back.
Can you briefly tell us about yourself?
Okay, my name is Frida Mwema. Books and Bricks Global Kenya Treasurer. I'm also a teacher in Mulundi Primary School. I started working with this organization since 2011, since from up to present.
Wow.
I've been working with the organization when it was Books and Bricks organization. Now we are working with the Books and Bricks Global Kenya. As the treasurer, I withdraw funds from the organization and then distribute them accordingly.
Wow. And also, as a teacher, what's your role, especially during this COVID-19 period, in the community and also to help the students to remain focused?
Okay, during this period, when funds are sent to Kenya, we buy materials, revision materials for the students in high schools and also in primary school. I help in distributing the materials. I've also been helping in guiding and counseling of the girl child. I also question the parents on the issues of discipline during this time. And also I ask the parents to make sure that their children are safe or they follow the health measures.
Wow, that's great. And lastly, what do you think should be done to ensure that the students are ready to be back in class by January?
Okay, to be ready, 2021, We need to buy more materials for the learners and also the students in high school, and make sure that the parents keep them busy in revision.
So that, I believe, was the treasurer of Books and Bricks. I believe she's still the treasurer. During that video, apparently we got no additional donations. Because I know why, because you guys are saving it. So thank you very much, by the way. Richard, Stephanie's Richard in the chat room there, gave an additional $50 because of inflation. That's awesome. Thank you very much, Richard. You guys have probably been saving it because you want to see pictures of kids in school. So these are some pictures of kids in the actual school. If you donate now, I'm going to show the kids in school because I don't know how long this video is. I'll just explain what's going on today. I'm an actor. I work in a wacky business. Yesterday, I went to set, worked during the day, and then someone said, yeah, we're going to go until the sun comes up. I'm like, what? It's like 6 o'clock at night. The sun doesn't come up till 7 in the morning. And we did. And so today, where I was going to watch all the videos and make sure everything worked properly and all that sort of, I was sleepy pies, and I'm obviously not operating on a whole lot of sleep. So that's kind of what's going on in my world. So this is as interesting for me as it is for you, because I don't know what's coming next. But if you feel like donating a little bit more, now's the time to do it. Or talk to a friend, reach out to relatives, anybody you think could help drive that 77% figure up. And then when we come back after the kids in school and the video about my mom, we will have a new total for you. And if you guys don't make that go up, I'll look around for some cash myself. I might have something somewhere. I did get some overtime last night, so maybe I'll just donate that. Here's a little bit about kids in school.
So you usually play the 4 of you? Ah, 4 or 2. Okay, we can have 4 of you. So, how do you master the pattern of the feet? So there are lines, huh? Yes. So you skip the boxes. Oh, so if you step on the line, you have missed. Oh. Which class is this? What class are you?
I am
class 6.
Yes.
Oh wow! And you can. Oh, okay.
Very nice, my family, very
So, good morning, class. Good morning once again. Which class is this? Form 1, sir? How old have you been? How long have you been at this school? Sorry? Oh, 1 month older. And on behalf of the class, if I may ask, how often do you visit the library? 3 times a month. As a whole class or individually? Do you have individual sessions or you just come as a whole class? Oh, it's a whole class, huh? Okay, so thank you. You may sit down. Which is your most current exciting reader? Sorry? The Westlingtons, huh? It's a novella. Huh? So thank you. Any other volunteer? Yeah, which is your most current reader? Memories we lost. Okay, so thank you, thank you. Any other volunteer? Which is your most current reader? Memories we lost also, huh? So thank you, and I'd like to challenge you as Form 1s. It's always good to read many books, especially in novels. They usually widen your thoughts, they give you ideas, and also, most importantly, they help you with your talking skills. Sinisawa. So maybe you can challenge yourself in every week, unasoma kitabu moja. Sinisawa. So thank you for your time, and you can keep on learning. So have a good day. Yeah? So thank you.
I think that last section there was actually in one of the libraries. I can't be absolutely sure on that. But those are some of the children in Kenya, some of the children whose lives are affected by Books and Bricks. We don't just do high school students. We provide all sorts of resources from the beginning of education to the end. One of the things that happens in Kenya is often families don't have enough money to send kids to school, especially in rural areas. They will pick maybe one child to go forward and have an education and then theoretically provide for the family. Often that child, if the oldest is a girl, the girl gets overlooked and they send the young man to school instead, beyond just primary education. So Books and Bricks is often focused on sending young ladies to school that wouldn't have the opportunity otherwise. That's not to say that we don't also provide scholarships for young men. We do. In fact, one of them is become an engineer. So it's a much more holistic organization than just sending girls to school. So all sorts of things are paid for. Another thing I wanted to mention is you could see in that video, which is from last year, the kids are wearing masks. They have them on outside, inside. Sometimes they're all the web. Sometimes they're kids. What are you going to do? One of the things that's happened is that the oldest child in the family has become the breadwinner. In so many Kenyan households, Kenya was decimated by COVID. And many people in the communities that we serve passed away from COVID. Sometimes both parents. What we've tried to do is provide for those families so that the kids in school already can stay in school and go further. And we will assist them in going further. So your dollars helps ensure all of that. Other things that are happening in Kenya, of course, are the drought, the inflation that's happening there, the price of grain, just basic food, the vegetables that they usually survive on can't grow because of the drought, and things like AIDS. Here in the United States, you just don't hear about people dying from AIDS anymore. It's all about living with AIDS. And thank God for the medical advancements. But in Kenya, AIDS is still ravaging that community. AIDS is still ravaging that community. So every dollar that you donate here goes so much farther in Africa and makes a tremendous difference. Should I give them the total now? Yeah, or I'm going to give you a total. No, you know what I'm going to do? First, I'm going to give you a total. Then I'm going to go to Elise because I can see the camera there. Elise is not in front of the camera yet. Elise wanted to tell us about how far the dollars go. I see her hand. She's got her hand raised. So we'll go to Elise right after we give an updated total. Elise is ready. I'm going to pull Elise onto the screen and give me just a second there, Elise. So I want to build the anticipation here because we're going to go to our intrepid reporter in the field. There she is. We can see Elise. First, we're going to do the fundraising total. Then we're going to go to Elise, and she's going to talk. You guys can hear her. I can't. We were at 70%, 77%. Now we are at 10% more, 87%. We have crossed the 30,000 threshold, people. So we've got less than $5,000 to get all the way to our goal. And Elise is there raising the roof. By the way, Elise is not that short. She just has her laptop positioned so that we have a lot of headroom. And she wanted, so she could raise the roof. That's why. That's smart. I swear to God, before she was a reverend, she was in local news because she knows how this works. So 87%. I'm getting all verklempt. Elise, tell the good people at home, and I'll try to do my best to read your lips. Tell the people how far this money goes, how it works, what kind of things Books and Bricks is doing over there, and how that dollar is stretched. Go for it.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Kevin. And I'm just so incredibly grateful to all folks who have made their contributions to Books and Bricks today. I think about the young people in Kenya whose lives are changed by scholarships to be able to get them to school. Some of these kids are not being able to have school supplies. Is not something that's normally surmountable without these kinds of financial supports from Books and Bricks. Not too terribly long ago, I preached a sermon where I quoted an African theologian who shared a really challenging problem where farmers in Africa, if they need, maybe they need to have medical care, or they're trying to send their child to school, they can borrow money at exorbitant interest rates. And it then is just crippling. And it's something that follows the family for a long, long time, sometimes forever. But with programs like Books and Bricks, you give these kids an opportunity to have an education, to be able to change not only their own life, but the lives of all in their community and their own children. And then their families are not in crippling debt, and that their families can live a sustainable lifestyle. And I think about the fact that I grew up in Kentucky, which is, in the United States, but also a state that is known for significant poverty and challenging education rates. And I got to see firsthand the effect of a good education with a family or with children who are struggling financially. It makes all the difference. I think I may have mentioned last year, I worked with kids who were in a reading program, kids who were not reading at their own grade level, to help give them some individual tutoring and help and support so they could get to read at their grade level. And that is life-changing for these kids. It gives them increased self-esteem. It helps them to be more emotionally adjusted and productive members of society. And it's just a real blessing to see that kind of stuff happening with Books and Bricks, and seeing the kids can have access to library resources. It is a huge game changer for these kids. So anyway, I'm just really grateful to everyone who has made a contribution to Books and Bricks today, and have in the past, and those of you who are considering making a donation to Books and Bricks. We are very thankful to you and the children whose lives are changed. Thank you immensely. Over.
Thank you so much, Elise. You are really so much a better person than I am. To be able to get out there and work with kids one-on-one, it takes a tremendous amount of time and devotion, and obviously people like Elise are out there doing that sort of thing. people like that are in Kenya right now waiting for the resources to make that sort of thing happen and really change lives. That's not an exaggeration. We're going to go to another total after I get back, but first I wanted to show you a little bit about, I'm supposed to play this, they told me to play this. This is a little bit about my mom, I think, because it's on the screen. It's titled Books and Bricks Mom, so I'm guessing it's about my mother. And then someone here, I think it was Janet, put together a little thing about my family. We'll just kind of breeze over. I don't want to brag about my family, and keep in mind that's not me. This is my family. But more importantly, this is about my mom.
Hello, everybody. My name's Cliff Williams. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees of Books and Bricks Global. Welcome to our fundraiser. I'd like to talk about one of the fundraising elements we have, and that's the Reverend Donna Riley Williams Memorial Scholarship Fund. This is a picture of Donna. She's an ordained Lutheran minister. She passed away in 2015, and as a family, we came together and started up the fund, as prior to that time, we had been donating money to Books and Bricks Global. Teaching actually is one of Donna's main interests throughout her life. It's actually in her DNA, as both her parents were teachers, and in fact, her mother, during 1939 and 41, was teaching at a missionary school in Trinidad, just at the start and breakout of the Second World War. We traveled around a lot with my work, and every place we went, Donna took the opportunity to do some teaching. One example is when we lived up in the Yukon Territory. During the cold winters, we had to deal with, in particular, our two young sons, one of which is your host right now, Kevin. At the ages of 2 and 4, the winters were long, so she started up a nursery school in our neighborhood and ran it for 3 years, taking in around 20 students each time. Teaching was really part of her DNA. When we spent time in Africa, working there, Donna volunteered as a missionary volunteer, helping teach in some of the classrooms. And I remember her commenting on how the children would raise their hands and snap their fingers when she'd ask questions, as they would want to be called upon. Also, she did some teaching of the women in the squatter areas around the capital city. One of the focuses that we have within that fund is providing scholarships for teacher college students. As if you've read some of the information that has been put out by Books and Bricks Global, a lot of the focus is on providing teachers in the rural communities. So we do that in our particular fund program by focusing in on the scholarships for the students. So thank you very much for listening, and please be generous. Thank you.
I have a new total to go to here. We have passed the 87% barrier. And I'm going to go to that now. Yes, I'm going to go to that now. And then I'll come back after 1 or 2 videos. We'll take a look at a new total. Go to booksandbricks.com. No, booksandbricks.org/donate. It's right there. It's right there. And thank you, Phyllis. And we'll go to. I wanted to go to. I think we actually have a teacher. I want to go to the video about the teacher after I give you the updated total. So we'll do that. And then I will give you an updated total on the other side. Let's do the fundraising thing. And right now we're looking at 87%. And then when I hit this button, we're going to be looking at 92%. We broke the 90 barrier. People said it could never be done, but we did it. Why? USA, and all the other countries, Canada, and we got people donating for all over the world. So this is a global project. So chant world. It's just, see, world just doesn't have the same kind of chantability as all the other stuff. Here's a little bit about a teacher that's in the system. Oh, you know what? Before I did, I do have something to read about our family, about my family, not to brag, and about my mom's thing, but we'll talk about that on the other side. I just want to show you this about the teacher before I forget.
My name is Faith Mainki, a teacher and a TSC, and currently teaching in a school by the name St. John's Kamulungu Secondary School, a beneficiary of Books and Bricks Global Kenya, and a member of the board.
As a Books and Bricks Global Kenya beneficiary, how did the sponsorship help or influence your performance at school?
The sponsorship influenced my performance in school by keeping me always in class, and that one gave me a conducive environment to do well in my performance.
And as a teacher, what do you think Books and Bricks could do more to have a greater impact in the community?
The same assistance that was offered to me, I recommend it to continue to many students to enable them do better in the community and in their lives to come.
And also, now that schools are closed, what do you do to help or to prepare the students to get ready to be back in class in January?
We have engaged them in a WhatsApp group where we study both curriculum-wise and life skills.
Okay, thank you. Do have a great day.
You too. Thank you. God bless you abundantly.
Wow, that was a fast video. I'm not even done. I'm not done with what I was working on there. We're back. Hold on just a second. I have another video to show you. The English. This is English literature library teacher. Here's this.
Hello and good morning.
Morning to you.
Can you briefly introduce yourself to us?
I'm Mr. Mtua Moses.
Yeah.
Kivumbune Nixie Secondary School.
Yeah.
Teacher of English literature.
Yeah.
In charge of the school library.
So you're the one who is in charge of the library? Yeah?
Yes, I'm the one who is in charge.
First and foremost, if I may ask, how do you allocate the library sessions to the students? Is it how do you allow the students to access the library?
We have programs.
Yeah.
Whereby at times we handle them as whole class sessions.
Yeah.
With the guidance of the teachers.
Yeah.
And sometimes once the classes are free,
yeah,
we allow the students to have open individual or open learning,
yeah,
whereby they come and do research,
yeah,
and also study on their own.
Oh, so we have both the whole class sessions and then individual based, huh?
Yes, we have the whole class sessions and the individual.
Oh, so that's great. And so far, as a literature teacher, how much impact do you feel the library has had on the students and the teachers?
So the library has really helped us.
Yeah.
Being a day school,
yeah,
we have a shortage of facilities.
Yeah.
And once you have this library,
yeah,
it has enhanced further studies.
Yeah.
Whereby the students access the library.
Yeah.
They can read on their own.
Yeah.
And at times we have the teachers who just come and help them.
Yeah.
To enhance their performance.
Oh.
That is first.
Yeah.
Secondly, we are able to print the examinations in the library, whereby it has enhanced the privacy.
Yeah.
Whereby students cannot access the exam and the issue of cheating.
So you print the exams from the library?
Yeah, we do it.
Oh wow, that's great, huh?
Yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes, thirdly, students also have a free time to do their own research in various subjects. Yeah. And that has enhanced great performance in their studies.
Oh, and this being a day school, so far, what challenges do you feel have you faced as teachers, as the whole school fraternity at large?
Yeah, well, being a day school, we have times and various challenges.
Yeah.
For instance, we have a limited time of accessing the library.
Yeah.
Because the student or the learners will only come here at 8.
Yeah.
And after around 8 hours or 10 hours,
Yeah.
they have to leave the compound because
Yeah.
it's a day school.
Yeah.
On the same note, we still have a very tight program.
Yeah.
Whereby the term dates are so induct.
Yeah.
So teachers are striving
Yeah.
to cover the syllabus.
Yeah.
So at times, whenever the students are free,
Yeah.
we shall have the cover-up lessons.
Oh, especially because I understand that is it this year or is it next year when the country will be experiencing 2 candidate classes?
Yes,
at the same
because
time?
of the challenge of the pandemic, that is COVID-19.
Yeah.
Next year, we are most likely to have Form 2s and Form 3s sitting the exam in the same year.
And how will you be able to cover that syllabus? But although anyway, that's a huge challenge, by the way. I understand.
Yeah, it is a great challenge.
Yeah.
Because you are striving to see whether you can cover the syllabus.
Yeah.
By the time those who are in Form 3, by the time they will be doing the exam in April,
Yeah.
we will have covered. But it's really a great challenge.
Yeah.
But we are trying.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. I understand.
We still have another challenge.
Yeah.
Whereby we had introduced a system whereby the parents, as the Form 1 student, Form 1, they come with storybooks and reading materials.
Yeah.
But it has been a great challenge whereby the parents cannot make it.
Oh.
Yes.
Due to lack of finances, negligence, which could you please expand further?
That would be as a result of lack of finance.
Yeah.
Because generally in our county, Kitui County,
Yeah.
the county is very dry. You can see you don't have rains.
Yeah.
So that has been a great challenge because of finance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so anyway, that would have been a very great opportunity by there because every beginning of the year, new Form 1 as they report,
Yes.
you were trying to.
We had a program whereby they should be buying reading materials.
Yeah.
So that we may enrich our library.
Oh, that's great by the way, even
Yes.
though. But anyway, we hope as time continues that will change.
It will change. It will change.
So anyway, that's all I needed from you, sir. So thank you for your time and do have a great day. Yeah?
Yes, we appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
The far we have gone,
Yeah.
we have done great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sir, thank you. Good day.
You too.
I hope that was interesting. I don't know. I couldn't hear him, but you guys could. We are going to go to our friend Mary for an update here in a second. But first, I wanted to read you a little bit about, because I was told to say this, about the Williams family donation, specifically the Donna Riley Williams donation fund, and a little bit about that. In the chat room, Cliff Williams, speaking of Cliff Williams, says, thanks, Kevin, great job, blah, blah, blah. You are pulling us to the finish line. Joanna G says, John and Adrian. Thank you, John and Adrian. Sent in a check for the fundraiser. Thank you very much, John and Adrian. Snail mail from Connecticut, but I believe it got there before today, so I'll just say that it's part of the total here, and I'll give you that total in just a second. We'll update you on that. Mary's waiting to update us. She's got I'm assuming good news, because every time she talks to me, there's more money coming in, and that makes me happy. Some of that money goes towards the Reverend Donna Riley Williams Memorial Fund. This is a very specific fund set aside to educate girls in Africa. So please make a special donation today. That's what the paper says. I'm reading that. And that's some people say, like, oh, the Books and Bricks, they educate girls in Africa. I talked a little bit earlier about all of the other things, and it's not just girls, it's also boys. But specifically, because my mother raised myself and my brother, she hated little boys. So she wanted all the money to go to only girls. And that's why my mother was an incredible woman. This is not on the paper. But she was one of those women who decided, like, I'm going to go get a job in the 60s and early 70s, when people were like, no, you're not. You're going to stay at home and raise the kids. So she had kids. And then we were in Whitehorse, Yukon, and there was no kindergarten to send the kids to. And so she started a kindergarten. That was my mom. She went over to Africa when we went over to Africa, coincidentally. We just happened. We're like, oh my God, Donna, you're here. No, she flew over there with us, and she started charities in Africa. She did all kinds of things. She blazed a lot of trails for women. And then she eventually she went through Catholic seminary, but since the Catholics don't let you become a priest if you're a lady, she decided to become a Lutheran minister and caused quite a ruckus. We saw a little picture of her on the front page of the Catholic Reporter when my dad was talking about her. So quite an amazing woman. Some of the things coming out of the scholarship fund, one student who has a scholarship fund from the Donna Riley Williams Fund is pursuing a science degree in education, and they will become a high school teacher or an agriculture extension officer. 2 students are in high school right now. One is going to take her national exam this year. This student is going to join college next year, and your donations today will enable her to continue her education without interruption. And then the third thing they've asked me to say here, the fund also provides uniforms, home economic supplies, and pens and pencils to students to attend high school. I mentioned this last year, I think. Who remembers? I don't. When you're in Africa, when you get a pencil or a pen, that's your pencil or pen. Your parents don't buy you a pack of 24 pencils. You break one, oh, I'll just use the next. You've sharpened 3, so you'll just... No. That's your pencil. There are no other pencils for you. So you hold on to that, and you do not lose your pencil. In addition, the Williams family also funded an engineering student to pursue a master's degree at Cranfield University. That's cool. I didn't know that. He is now back in Kenya teaching at a local university. Very cool. Finally, the Williams family is going to fund more engineering students in the coming school year. See, my dad's an engineer. And so I guess enjoys the engineers. He does, because I know that they interview these students, and my dad will start asking questions. And the students, like when you're in an interview, someone's giving you a bunch of money, and yes, I really appreciate this, and I've enjoyed my education, and I hope to do this and this. And then my dad will ask like a real engineering question, and the student will, oh, and then they have a real conversation. So my dad enjoys that, and theoretically the other engineering student enjoys that. Now we're going to go to Mary, because I have something that I think you're going to enjoy. Let's bring in Mary here, and let's see. Mary, I assume you're unmuted. We can see you. Go ahead and talk, and we'll just make sure that we can hear you.
I am unmuted.
Okay, and I don't see little Alden there. Is little Alden, is it past his bedtime? Did you put him down?
He is asleep for a minute.
For a minute. I remember those days. See, I was a terrible sleeper as a baby. And I think that's why my mom is like, no boys, girls only. No, but yes, I did lie about the I just read what's on the paper. It says it's specifically for young women, but I guess we're also educating boys as well. So speaking of education, I'm going to give you guys a new total, and then Mary's going to talk about that because she wanted to be involved with that as well. So our goal is $35,000. I know that's asking a lot. Last year we didn't reach our goal. So we have to kind of temper our expectations here, and we're going to have to just for a second, because what I wanted to process isn't done yet. So Mary, just while we're killing time here, just tell everyone how you got involved in the charity in the first place.
So I, like your dad, I was a parishioner at the church where Janet started this program, as we've talked about. I was there for a hot minute. I wasn't living in Seattle for very long, but I met Janet and just heard the inspiring things that Books and Bricks was doing, and I was inspired to try to get involved in some way. And it's been a great journey, and hearing the stories, and you were talking about what these students are aiming for and what their goals are, and I was actually just reviewing some letters that I've gotten over the years from high school scholarship students that my family has been able to fund. And I remember 2 girls each saying, one wants to be an accountant and one wants to be a nurse, and both of them describing that their family's means are so lacking that it sounded kind of embarrassed in their letters about their uniforms and their shoe polish, but they were getting their school fees and they're going to school. and they're going to reach those goals of becoming a nurse and accountant. And I just find those things, those personal stories, so inspiring from those students. But while I'm here, Kevin, I just want to really thank everyone, as we've all been trying to do, for all of these donations. We have gotten checks and cash and online donations, and it looks like some snail mail donations. I know we get checks in the mail, which is always so appreciated. And they are going towards all of those different program categories that you showed us when you showed how to do the donations online. Our general fund, the your mom's fund, Reverend Donna Fund, and sustainers too. You can also sign up there. I think you may have mentioned this, but on that donate button, you're able to sign up for recurring donations. It doesn't have to be a one-time thing. It can be set up for a specific time, and that's really helpful too, just to continue to get those funds coming in throughout the year for us.
Yeah, it is. I didn't mention that, so thank you very much for bringing that up, Mary. Let me show everybody where that is on the donation page. Give me just a second here, and I will reload this so you can donate online now. And then once that page comes up, at the bottom there, it says, let's make sure that you guys can see that. Yeah, consider recurring donations here at the bottom, and you can put in, if you don't have, let's say you want to donate $38,000. If you don't have that all right now and you want to just do $10 a month or $5 a month or $1, whatever it is, every little bit counts. And you can set up, when you want to start that donation, you can set up how long you want it to go. Maybe you want to stretch it over 6 months. Maybe you want it to be every month. Whatever you want to do, it can all be done there. And those sustaining donations really do sustain. And it's so wonderful throughout the year as you're looking for funds to make this all happen. And remember, these are all volunteers doing this. When you're looking for funds and that chunk comes in once a month and it says you've got this much more money to keep sustaining what you need to do. Speaking of what we need to do, our goal today is $35,000. Everyone has been so generous. Last year we didn't make it. This year I have an updated total, and that total is... I can't do the drum roll and hit the button at the same time. So it's going to be half a drum roll, and I'm going to do it twice as fast. And 100%! We did it, everybody! Yay! Celebration, confetti. Congratulations, everybody. You did a fantastic job. We got there. Elise, I think I see Elise dancing. Something happened with Elise there at the church. But there she is. Oh, Elise is raising the roof, everybody. We did it. Oh, that makes me feel happy inside. I honestly, guys, I didn't think Elise is dancing. She's such a performer. You're muted, by the way, Elise. Which is probably, otherwise the screaming would just be interrupting everybody. Fantastic job, everybody. God, I feel like this year it's a miracle that we got there. We were stuck just about the $30,000 mark, and then money started rolling in. So thank you, everybody, for doing all that you do. Elise, your verbal reaction to this?
It's fabulous. We are so excited. Last year, as you know, we didn't make our goal for the fundraiser, and so the fact that we made it to 100% tonight is awesome, and we are so grateful to everybody. So thank you, Kevin and Mary and everybody who's made that possible. Woo! We got a woo from the back.
Mary, an explosion at the last second to take us from 92% over
Absolutely.
the line. Were they coming in online? Was there like a big donation we should mention? I mean, this just before you get going here, Mary. One of the things that Michael does when he doesn't have COVID, I believe, is he sort of parses out who wants to get mentioned on the air, who doesn't. A lot of people want to remain anonymous, which is absolutely great. So this year we didn't get a chance to really do as many shout outs as we wanted to do. Is there somebody that we need to mention, or just everybody in general? I don't have anything in front of me that tells me what to do here, Mary. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't want to call anybody out that doesn't want to be. So I will just say a general thank you to everyone. And like I said to that parish that we mentioned earlier that made a big donation. There were a couple other good sizable donations, and we just thank everybody for any size donation. And like I said, those sustaining members, if you're able to become a sustaining member and give a little bit throughout the year, that's really helpful. And we do have some of those. We have a couple people that made multiple donations tonight, or that made one tonight that had also made one earlier in the week online. There were people in person writing checks and giving cash tonight, and the people that attended got to enjoy that fellowship together tonight and celebration of this. And I did want to also mention that it's a $35,300 total right now, and that was over 92 different donations. So I think that's just really wonderful to see the number of people and how this wonderful, program is spreading by people telling their friends and family. I know I was sending those emails out to my friends and family, reminding them, hey, it's that time of year again. Let's support all of this goodness that's happening in Kenya through Books and Bricks Global.
This is absolutely amazing that we can come together. I try and do one good thing a year. I feel like this might be it. And everybody else, of course, who's donated tonight, the money also continues over the next couple of weeks. We usually get donations added afterwards. So if anybody out there is watching tonight or delayed and wants to donate a little bit more, or share booksandbricks.org on their Facebook page, on their Twitter page, on their TikToker, on their chat snap, whatever it is that you do, if you want to share this, you never know. I should mention as well, several people on my birthday on August 13th, I put up a fundraiser saying, hey friends, and this works so well on Facebook. Hey friends, for my birthday this year, don't give me anything. Just consider donating to Books and Bricks. And we raised enough, more than enough, to send, $450 to send someone to school? To send somebody to high school for a whole year? What's that number, Mary?
The number for 1 year is 112. So that was enough to send them for the whole entire 4 years.
Yeah, so we raised, 112 a year. So what is that, 448 over
Yes.
An entire high school career in Kenya. We raised enough money. We raised 650. So one person for 4 years, and then another person till they were a sophomore, and then get out of here. You're done. We didn't get, no. We, of course, find money elsewhere to, I'm sure, continue in that. And everything goes into the general fund. But fantastic job, everyone. Thank you, Mary, for doing what you do. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Mike. Get better, Mike. Thank you, Elise, for showing your multi-talent, for bringing all those talents to tonight, for raising the roof, and for being a joy, at least, to watch visually. I can't hear what you're saying, but I imagine it's been very good. Thank you, everyone
Kevin.
else. Hi, Maria. Thank you for what you've done today. Cujo, Cousin Larry up in heaven, producer Joanna for helping out here on the home front, as well as Amanda, my daughter. She was doing something or other. So thanks to everybody. We've reached our goal. Let us not let that stop us from spreading out the word a little bit more. Like I said, post on your Facebook page on your birthday or whatever it is. Books and Bricks, by the way, is if you figure out how to do it for your birthday or for Christmas or for Hanukkah or whatever else it is, Books and Bricks is registered on Facebook as a charity. There's no other one close to it. So if you find Books and Bricks, that's the one. So what you can do is put it on your Facebook page and say, please give generously. Don't give it to me. Give it to this organization. And Facebook, if they're telling the truth, donates 100% of the proceeds directly to the charity. So think about doing that this year, and you will make differences in lives that, as you've seen, change not only the one life, but the lives of everybody else around them. Thank you, Elise. Maria says thank you, Elise, Janet, Mike, and Mary. My dad, Clifford. My mom, wherever she is, I'm guessing heaven, since she was a minister. And I think, like, what more do you have to do, quite honestly? So at least you're on the way there. You know, right? That's part of the deal. When you sign off, you give up your career on the big screen with all of your skill and talent, and you get into heaven. So I hope everyone here does. And on that note, we'll put an end to the broadcast. Thank you, everyone, for watching this year. We will see you next year. And again, please consider continuing your support of Books and Bricks throughout the year. Good night, everybody. Take care.